Hello, what's up everyone? It's me again, this Mangastador. In English, it's Spendthrift Guy. Last Saturday, last Saturday we just watched the Overlord movie. So today we're gonna have some movie review, okay? And I'll give you some of my thoughts as a Filipino goer about the movie Overlord. Okay, so we just watch it, and I'm gonna give you about my thoughts. Okay, so again, we just watched Overlord last Saturday. That would be November 10, 2018, at IMAX Cinema in SM Cebu City, Philippines, of course. And as a proof, I got my tickets here. Okay, there. So, all right. I and my loved one watched the movie. Okay, so it cost me 450 pesos each for the ticket for the movie. So times two, so multiply by two, so that would be 900 pesos. Okay, so I watched it in IMAX, so it cost me a grip for watching it in IMAX. Okay, so because I wanna enjoy it in 2D. So the movie was just 2D. It's not 3D. Okay, so we don't have to wear some sunglasses. Okay, so well, without further ado, let's jump on the movie review. So how do I find the movie Overlord? Okay, first, so my question is my 900 pesos worth spent? So here are my thoughts. Okay, first I'm gonna rate the movie. Okay, so my rating for the movie is 3 out of 5 if it's a major film. Okay, but I think when I googled the movie, it shows there that it's just a B movie. So if it's just a B movie, okay, it's way too good to be a B movie. So I'm gonna give it a perfect score, 5 out of 5, because I never expected that. It's just a B movie. Okay, it's way too good. It's way too good for a B movie to make a film like that. So that would be my rating. Okay, so let's talk about the actors. Okay, the actors in this movie gave their best shot, no question about it. Especially the lead actor, whose name is Jovan Adipo. So the lead star, he played as Private Boys. Okay, Private Boys. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly because I'm not an American. So yeah, he played as Private Boys. Okay, his role there was a Tyro soldier. Okay, who never been to war. Maybe he just finished training in the military and he's too young, so he never seen a war before. So the whole thing is completely new to him. Okay, completely strange to him. So that's why as a young soldier, you would expect that he would be anxious. Okay, so Giovanni Depo, so the actors, I'm sorry. Okay, actually this notes, this is one that I prepared, so I could organize my thoughts before I gonna say it. Okay, so the actors in this movie gave their best shot, especially the lead star Jovan Adipo, then Wyatt Russell, who played the corporal, and Bukim Woodbine, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, who looked like a teenage Lawrence Fishburne to me. Okay, actually that Bukim Woodbine, he just played just a short role there. He just appeared for just a few minutes, then he died. But based on his acting, he did well. Okay, so now let's talk about we talked a while ago about Jovan Adipo. Okay, so the lead star of the movie, here he played as Private Boys, a young private who I suppose like I've said, a Tyro soldier who has never been to war. So his acting was fantastic. So he killed that role, I could say. So he perfectly, flawlessly, and magnificently projected the scared, confused, inexperienced, and wandering Tyro soldier during World War II. So I could see the sweat on his face. Okay, that's a good thing. As a movie goer, okay, so that I won't be preoccupied that it's just a movie. I want, when I watch a movie, I want the movie to take me into their world. Okay, so I want the movie to catch my imagination. So the acting of the lead role of the lead star there was good. Okay, so I could see the sweat of his face, his terrified expressions, his emotions of war, and his panic. Okay, which is very good. So on his role, he wasn't acting; he was living in that world. Okay, so again, he killed that role. So he was never Jovan Adipo in that movie. So he was private. He really played private voice there. Okay. So 2 thumbs up for the leading actor, Jovan Adipo. So I'll give him 5 out of 5, or perfect score. So now let's move on with Wyatt Russell. Okay, so Wyatt Russell in this movie played as a smarter, well-experienced soldier. Okay, and his rank is corporal. So he's the smart as well-experienced corporal. Okay, so he's the corporal. Okay, so. I could say that like Jovan Adipo, he also killed that role. So for the following reason: first, he projected well the personality of a well-experienced, clever, and more mature soldier. So he showed this on the scenes where the young soldier photographer took a picture of him as if the photographer wasn't scared of war. So for him, he was just looking at the window of the plane, and he took her character there knows that the war wasn't a joke. Okay, so the corporal knew that has the war, so he knew that the war was no joke, and he knew the intricacies of war. So he asked the photographer, okay, the young soldier, to take his seat instead of taking some selfie pictures of him. So in another scene, Wyatt Russell, is a more mature and well-experienced soldier, saved the ass of Jovan Adipo, actually many times, who was trying to save the surgeon from the hands of the German. Okay, when the surgeon was about to kill Bukim, Mr. Bukim, I forgot his last name. And a good example of what Wyatt Russell there, the corporal, did was he showed that the corporal is more mature and well experienced than those private soldiers around him, okay, or those young soldiers with him. So I'll give him 5 out of 5 on his acting. So, and also I was surprised that he was a hockey player. Okay, so not bad for a former hockey player. Okay, so I'm surprised. Okay, now let's go to the next actor, John Magaro. So I'll give John Magaro 2 out of 5. Why? Because he was too slow to move. Okay, as if he ain't a soldier, right? As if he didn't undergo any military training. So especially the scene where he was trying to save the kid from being hit when the kid was caught up in a gunfight. Okay, so sorry, John. So I'm just trying to give you a constructive criticism right here. So maybe you'll do better next time. Okay, so next is Mark Risman. Okay, his role there is German soldier. Okay, so he was a kind of sidekick of the nemesis, or the main nemesis in this movie. So Mark Risman, I'll give him 4 out of 5. Why? These are my reasons. Okay, so he was perfect fit for his role as a German Nazi role. So the shape of his face, okay, his look. He really looked like a German Nazi, and you will never doubt him in the movie that he was that he is an American or what other nationality. So based on his look, he really looked like a German a German Nazi. Okay, so he's perfect for that role. Okay, so I didn't give him the perfect score because I felt that he could act better than what he has shown in this movie. Okay, so next actor is, I don't know how to pronounce this, Pilo Asbeck. I don't know if I pronounce this correctly. Okay, so Pilo Asbeck is the nemesis. Okay, is the nemesis on this movie, is the antagonist. Okay, if it's a superhero movie, is the main villain. Okay, so the nemesis, no doubt for him, I definitely give him 5 out of 5. Okay, without a doubt. Okay, man, this actor really killed that German role. Okay, if Mark Risman is perfect for his role, or perfect with this role as a German soldier, this guy Palo Asbeck is more than perfect on his role as a German officer. Man, the guy is scary. Not only because he became a zombie on that movie, but because on how the way he looks. He looked like a terrible, horrifying Nazi German officer. Okay, he really looked like brutal, and the way he looks, the way he moves, man, he really killed that role. He's really perfect on this role. He killed that role. Wow, I could say wow. Okay, he's perfect. Okay, so if I own the Oscar, I'll definitely give John Adipo and this guy Pelo Asbeck an award. Okay, so John Adipo for lead role, and Pilo or Pilo Asbeck for supporting actor. Okay, so like I said, this guy's has a killer Nazi looks. Not only not as an ordinary soldier, but the look of a killer officer. Okay, so he was scary. So hats off to you, Pilo or Pilo, whatever you pronounce your name, however you pronounce your name. So hats off to you. Okay. So as for Mathilde Oliver, I don't know if I pronounced her name correctly. So I'll give her 1 out of 5. So her acting was predictable. Okay. You can see on her acting that she was just acting. Okay, he did not live up the character on the movie. Okay, so when when we watch on her performance, it seems that she was acting in a theater, in a theater, I don't know how to say it, a theater where there's a live performance, musical theater, something like that. So yeah, it's her acting is it's obvious. Okay, so she didn't catch our imagination. So she doesn't show enough emotion. So an emotion of real people. How would real people react on that situation? So for me personally, she fell short on her role. So maybe she'll make it better next time. But on this movie, just give her 1 out of 5. Okay, so now let's move on. Now let's talk about the movie itself. Okay, so we're done talking about the actors. Okay, so let's talk about the movie itself. So the strengths of the movie are the following. Okay, this is just my personal opinion. Okay, so the story for me is excellent. Okay, unique. Okay, so actually I've never seen this kind of movie before, where horror, action, and I don't know if horror, action, and suspense, thriller, something like that, combines into one movie, okay? So the strength of the movie is the story, of course. The movie is unique, like I've said, and it hits the cinema at the right moment. Why? Because most cinemas right now are saturated with comics of superheroes, okay? So this movie is quite unique, okay? So, and hits the right moment when most cinemas are saturated with comic superheroes. So this is not just your ordinary zombie movie, okay, where you can see the characters always being chased by thousands of zombies, okay? So this is my first time to ask myself, okay, whether this movie is an action movie, a horror movie, or a true story movie. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So this movie is unique because it has the blend of horror movies or zombie movie, then an action movie, and a true story movie, because it's all about World War II, right? And World War II really took place, okay? So it made me ask myself whether this movie is an action movie, horror movie, or true story movie. Okay, so this is good. This is good because it only means that this movie has embraced those three genres. Okay, it embraced three genres. Okay, like what Jan Magaro said in that Overlord movie. Jan Magaro said there that it's like killing two birds with one stone, but this movie, man, has killed three birds with one stone, or it killed three birds with one shot. Okay, because it's like watching an action, horror, and true story movie. So it's killing three birds with one stone. So the story is sensible and it's believable. Okay. Why is it? Because it was indeed possible for German Nazis to come up with the idea to do some scientific experiments to their advantage, like making zombies to become their super soldiers, okay? As a matter of fact, I've heard some rumors from all people, okay, folks, that there were laboratories that were discovered after World War II, okay? And it was believed that these laboratories were used for science experiments that would be used during the war, okay? So I've heard those rumors that there were some kind of science experiments made by scientists to help the soldiers win the war, okay? That's why nukes were invented, right? So that's also possible. So the story is sensible. It's possible that the military could have undergone some experiments to their advantage, like creating super soldiers out of zombies by making dead people live again and became zombies, something like that. So I don't know if this movie was based on a book written by an author, because I'm not fond of reading novel books or pocket books, you can call it as you will. So if it is, then the credit of the story also goes to the author for a very good story, and the credit for cinematic experience, of course, goes to the producers, the directors, the actors, and the staffs of this movie. Okay, so let's talk about the introduction. The introduction really catches my attention. Okay, it caught my attention. Okay, that was fantastic, man. Okay, the introduction or the beginning of the movie was fantastic. Okay, so there was already an adrenaline rush the beginning of the movie. Okay, so when the plane got hit, right, and gunned down by the Germans. So the introduction was good, okay, and also a bit unique, okay. So at the beginning, you won't get bored waiting for some kind of action, okay. So the introduction was perfect, no doubt about it. Location, okay, perfect fit for the movie. So why the camp was perfect for the theme of the movie? Because it has a touch of horror movie, so it was indeed possible that this camp was isolated for a special purpose, that is for science experiments. So, but what really catches, what really caught my eyes and other movie goers here in the Philippines was the castle-like fortress of the German Nazis. Okay, you can see there in the movie. It was creepy, man. It was creepy. So the touch of horror was there when they showed the castle-like fortress where experiments were being made. Okay, so it reminded. So the moviegoers will be reminded of Frankenstein. Okay, being experimented by a mad scientist. So this time the mad scientist is German Nazis, and Frankenstein is represented by the zombies. Okay, so but unlike Frankenstein, the German Nazis and the World War II were real. So and the experimentation could have taken place or could have happened. So there's a little intrigue in the audience's minds. Okay, so it again it has a touch of a true to life story or based on a true story. Okay, so there's a touch of it. So the characters in the movie, I would say that they're perfect, man. They're perfect. Okay, they're not out of this world. Okay, so it was really possible for a group of 4 soldiers to accidentally sneak in the science laboratory and found out something creepy going on in the Nazis camp. Okay, so that's possible. Okay, so while they were on their way to a mission. Okay, I'll read it again. So it's possible for a group of 3 soldiers to sneak in science laboratory and found out something creepy going on in the Nazis camp while they were on their way to a mission. Okay, or while on their way to completing their task. So the characters are not impossible. Okay, and scary scenes. Now let's jump on the other strengths of the movie. Scary scenes, there are lots of them. Okay, so the prosthetics and the special effects were well crafted. Okay, it's not hodgepodge. So, and if this is just a B movie, they're like I've said, they're way too good for a B movie. Okay, so it's well crafted when it comes to the scary scenes, the prosthetics, and the special effects. Okay, so I could even say that we didn't even know that this is just a B movie until I googled it. Okay, so good work. Whoever thought up of this movie, it's a good work. Okay, they really put their nose up on this movie. Okay, so let's jump on the movie weaknesses. Okay, so there are just some few. Okay, actually there are only 2 weaknesses I found out on this movie. Okay, so the startling scene. Okay, startling, STARTLING. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Startling scene is it's cliche, man, and predictable. Okay, like what most horror movies do. They will let the character look through a peephole. Okay, when private boys played by Jovan Adipo look through a peephole. Of course, what do you expect? Okay, something might pop out or pop up, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so to startle the audience. Okay, but it's already a cliche, man. All right, many horror movies already did it. So it's no longer new to us moviegoers, and that's the only scene that I think the movie was trying us to startle. Okay, to make us, actually it didn't make us jump out of our skin, so it's already a cliche. So that's one of the weaknesses of the movie, the startling scene, okay? So it lacks a startling scene, okay? So the movie lacks some startling scenes, so it didn't make the moviegoer startled, okay? So I'll read this, what I wrote. So the peephole scene, it's predictable, like I've said. So we already saw lots of it, so the moviegoers expected it. So they failed on that aspect. Not really failed, maybe they could have done better. So another weakness of the movie is personal, okay? So we felt that story just revolves around to 5 or 10 people. So there were no special characters who showed up for a while to spice up the movie. So that's why cameo was invented, right? Because moviegoers want someone who will just appear there for a while to make a scene, okay? So it was not in the movie, okay? So I could say the personnel were limited on this movie. As a matter of fact, we only saw a handful of German soldiers in that movie, but since this is not a major film, so I could say that this doesn't matter. It's understandable, okay? So this is just for this comment of mine is just for you to take note, okay? So those are the only two weaknesses that I found out. I don't know if you agree with me, but for me, that's what I felt, okay? So they lack personnel and the startling scene, okay? So those are the only two weaknesses I found out on this movie, okay? Then now it's time for the overall summary, okay? So again, rating 3 out of 5 if it's a major film, but 5 out of 5 if it's just a B movie, because they're way too good for a B movie. So actors, no problem. All of them gave their best shot. Prosthetics, special effects, fantastic. Scare scenes, abundant. The weaknesses of the movie, startling scenes, there's lack of it, and the personnel. So my question right now, before I wrap this up, is my 900 pesos, 400 pesos, 450 per ticket, okay? So 900 pesos because it's 2 of us who watch the movie. So is it worth the spend, or is it worth it? Is it worth the spend? So my answer is yes. Would I recommend this movie? Yes. Okay, it's because I and my loved one enjoyed this movie, okay? We really enjoyed this movie. So for the last time, I would say it again, I was surprised to find out that this was just a B movie, okay? Because it's way too good to be just a B movie, okay? It's way too good for B movie to be like this, okay? So I never thought of that this movie is just a B movie, okay? So I think that's it. And if you want to read my movie review, I made a blog of this, so you can look for the Overlord movie review Philippines, blogspot.com. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and grab your popcorns, okay, if you want to watch a movie. Thank you so much, and I'm out of here.